Greetings, this is Bruce George, founder of the Genius is Coming movement and co-founder of Deaf Poetry Jam on HBO, and you're watching Amplify Live with Teresa B. Peace.
Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond. Keep shining, let it shine, shine like a diamond.
Good evening, Facebook. This is your girl, Teresa B, coming to you live and direct from Amplified Exposure Live. And today I have my wonderful guest. He got guns and grams on his stuff, but his name is Larry Derr. He is a producer, director, and I don't know, we're going to find out if he's done some acting. But he came on today, not just because he's dope and he got this new movie out and everybody's loving it, but he came on today because he likes me. So for those of you that are out there in La La Land, Roku Land, and all the other lands, welcome, welcome. We will have 30 minutes of fun-filled questions and answers. Hey.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm excited.
I told you I was goofy. I told you. Let's get started. Jump right in because Miss Shockley, shout out to Miss Shockley, has been telling me so many things, good things about you. She's been promoting your movie since it first came out, and she's been rocking with it hard. So tell me, how did it all start? Not just this particular movie, but how did you get into the industry of film?
I got into the industry of film. It started from a dream. I was about 15 years old, and I actually was in prison at 15, adult prison. Long story, self-defense situation, and everything was water crashing in. I couldn't believe I was in prison at that age, and one day I had a dream that I was driving in a convertible with somebody. As I was driving that convertible, it seemed like we could never get past this mountain that we were, driving past. So I woke up in a dream, but it felt so real that I forced myself to go back to sleep. So I went on ahead, went back to sleep, and shockingly, I went back to sleep and then continued from that dream. So continued joking with the person in the convertible, and we still couldn't get past that mountain. So I woke up for the second time, and by me being 15 years old in prison, I wasn't trying to be waking up to this this type of life right now. Just go ahead back to sleep, la la la. I continued from the third time I went to sleep. It continued for the third straight time. That never again happened in my entire life. And this time I forced it so much that as I was in the car with that person, I finally realized that he made a joke towards me, and I was like, "Yeah, right, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air." And I opened my eyes up a little wide, and it was Will Smith. And I was like, "Whoa!" And I started leaving out of the car again. I started going up towards the sky. So I was like, trying my best to get back into the convertible, but I couldn't. And as the convertible finally made past the mountain, it was Hollywood Mountain. And then I woke up again. And then I couldn't get back to sleep. So I'm like, I was losing my mind. It felt so real that I made that my path. And my whole entire time in prison, I kept telling people I'm going to be on TV, I'm going to be a movie star. And I really believed it because that dream felt that real. And I read this book about Charles Dutton. He was saying, well, not the same situation. I had a self-defense situation. I'm not too sure about his situation, but I read a book about Charles Dutton about his life and how he's from Baltimore like myself. And I came home, and I walked into the hot dog stand. I was like, "Hey, can I get a hot dog?" He said, "No, this for the cash." I said, "The cash? What's that? The cash of what? What's that supposed to mean?" The cash for the corner. And we doing a show. You're not an extra? I'm like, "An extra? What's that?" And this lady came over like, "Hey, come on, you go along over here. You put be over here with the extras." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "Oh, you're not one of the extras?" I said, "No. What is that?" And he was like, "Well, you can be on a show called The Corner if you want to. Charles Dutton is the director." I said, "Charles Dutton? I just read a book about him." And that thing, the very next day I was on the set of The Corner for like 6 straight weeks. And it was no turning back from there. I said, "This is too everything is telling me to just follow this path." So I just stuck to it. And what wound up happening was I got on The Wire. I played Onion on season 1 of The Wire. I had took over the low rises, the pit, what they call it now. And when the Barksdales decided to open it, they had to come and take it back from me in season 1. Like a beef against Murphy Homes and Lexington Terrace, and they, they got their neighborhood back. And my character continued because the mayor here, O'Malley, was calm at that time. Martin O'Malley he didn't like The Wire portraying a bad image of Baltimore, even though it was a story from decades ago true story from decades ago. So they kept like kicking us out of the low rise, kicking us out of certain areas. And when they kicked us out of the low rise, my character got discontinued. And the producer came, David Simon, and told me, he was like, well, due to the fact that, this happened to us, we won't be doing too much filming in the low rises anymore. So I kind of didn't get the hint. So I kept on hanging out with Idris Elba and everybody. We partying from, New York, all these different locations. And the 2 seasons went past, and I was like, wow, like O'Malley really shut this thing down, and I'm not going to be back on the show. So eventually I started realizing I was surrounded by stars. We even for years at a time, and we were still partying together. And I was like, man, if I stayed up enough money, maybe one day I can shoot my own movie. Started writing Graham. It took about 8 years to write Grahams. It took me 15 years after asking people, a total of 15 years to get it off the ground after asking people to invest, and no one was investing, and it was like a lost cause. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm tired of this. I went for major auditions, got the role, and those movies never took off. I supposed to have been in a movie with DMX called Dogman. I was really excited about that. I worked out. I was the biggest. I was like Mike Tyson's size. I worked out for the role, and it never took off. I was in I auditioned for a movie called Funny the Movie, and that never took off. And I took a lot of people from Funny the Movie and put them in my film because I know what they went through preparing and getting started. We supposed to be in a movie with Kim Kardashian, Queen Latifah, and they got snatched from us. So I went, and throughout the years I kept buying brand new equipment, and I kept putting it in my closet and not really using it that much. And then one day I walked into the house, looked at the equipment, and I said, wait a minute, all these directors and producers are talking about they're going to get the camera, they're going to get this, and then we're going to film. I got all this in my closet right now, my own studio that I haven't used. So one day I told my J.D. Williams, he's a real close friend of mine. He plays Bodie in a while. We hang out a whole lot. And I told him, I said, man, look, I'm about to stop throwing this money in the club. I'm about to start paying you this. And we're going to get Idris and all these people. And we're going to shoot this movie that I wrote called Guns and Grams. So we did a few tests, a few test shots. Work myself, and I shot it myself. All of a sudden, celebrities started pouring in. Hollywood started knocking. People over in London started wanting to film. People in Italy wanted to film. People in Hollywood wanted to film. And then I wound up after about a few years of deciding who to sign when I went with Hollywood. As I, just like a dream, I signed a contract in Hollywood. So I'm gonna be going to Hollywood on the 15th to deliver the film for worldwide distribution.
Wow! And this is your very first film that you created. That is nothing but God. There's just so many people who are out there hustling, trying to get that first film out and can't even get it off the ground. Like you said, they're waiting for investors and things of that nature. So it is a great achievement and accomplishment that not only did you get it off the ground, but it's worldwide now. So congratulations. Kudos to you. So definitely gonna have to get into your bag of nuggets and figure out how you did what you did as we talk off screen, some things that's going on behind the scenes. But very proud of you, and nice to be in your presence. So so with all of that going on, you have this one movie. Have you had people like bombard you with scripts, and you know how people do, as soon as they see you doing something, everybody's in your inbox, right?
Yeah.
So have you had any other opportunities come your way since then?
Opportunities, I really didn't. Yeah, I had opportunities come my way. Most of the time people come to me with ideas, and I keep telling people to put the end on your idea, and then we'll talk. It's not personal, but that's what I was taught when I was an intern at Channel 45, because I was the idea guy, the idea. And Paris, he's CNN now. I was his intern, and I was hold the camera in front of him. He said, Larry, I'm going to help you with your project. I'm going to help you. And one day he stopped me and said, Larry, when you got the end on your script, that's when you got the power. So I took that seriously, and he was right. He was right. So I'm about to do a video in Puerto Rico sometime in April, and it all came from the fact that, you know, my platform, they see my film, they loved it, and I'm fluent in Spanish, so people see me over in Puerto Rico just relaxing and speaking Spanish, and they put that together, and now I'm about to do a music video there. So this is about to be my first music video shoot. But you know, it was a real good you know, Triniani. Shout out to Trini. You know, Triniani. She's the person who's going to get her video shot out there. We're going to have a few celebrities in the video, and we're going to have a lot of Dominicans and Puerto Ricans in the video. It's going to be a scene similar to Scarface. I don't know if you can see it. It's one of the movies that inspired me right there, Scarface.
Yeah, I can see it. The all-time favorite.
Right. So reenactment of Scarface, a hotel scene, but it's gonna. I know you're gonna have to watch and see what happens. Yeah.
Cool. So first movie, first video, and everything has just blown up.
Yeah.
So tell us about what the movie is about, because I've been hearing a lot. It's been circulating, but I'm sure people want to get just a little touch of what it's about so they can go out and see it.
Okay, so the movie is about Gaetano Badalamenti. He was the head of a crime family. The American government considered the biggest mafia trial in United States history to date. Okay, Gaetano Badalamenti allegedly sent his workers from Sicily to New York, and from New York across the United States, and maintained the biggest heroin trade in United States history. Okay, so what I did was that true story, North and Warwick Avenue in Baltimore, and I put a bunch of those true stories into my film, and then I took a bunch of the true stories from my neighborhood, and I inched them together, and I made them clash. So what winds up happening is my father, Shorty Dorsey, who's portrayed by Perry Black, HBO employee as well, he meets mob boss in prison and winds up saving his life. And what winds up happening is when they both come home, they meet up and decide to do business in Baltimore. My father couldn't wait for Gaetano Badalamenti to send his new shipment. He was impatient and decided to go back with his old connection in Miami. The Sicilians didn't like that and attempted on his life. After my father, I don't want to get too detailed about the film, but after my father was, the word I want to use, they attempted on my father, however you want to put it. They killed me, and what wound up happening was I survived the attack to find out that the same people were, pursuing my father, tried to kill me. And of course, this means war. So we wound up going to war in Baltimore City, cartel style, in Baltimore City. To the point that even though the city council and the mayor and everyone approved the film, the machine guns were so loud, and so powerful that helicopters would constantly just come into the shot, and the officers had to constantly get them out of there. It'd be like 10 officers out there. They still wouldn't listen to their own officers, and it was like a war on the street. It winds up becoming the biggest movie out, and this year, last year, and the years. This is the movie. This is the movie. This movie is crazy from beginning to end. And the theaters, when we sold out multiple sellers, we made history in Baltimore. People were like screaming, jumping out of their seats, leaving out of the theaters, high-fiving each other, like
because they could identify with what was going on.
They was waiting for this. They said we've been waiting for something like this for years. Like nothing has been out like this, and we've been waiting so long. And they was comparing me to my idol. I can't, I'm in an interview, so I'm kind of lost for words. Name. This is my idol, man. Oh man, Poetic Justice. Rest in peace. Sorry. So they compare them, and it's not about the comparison. It's about the never giving up, and having a ton of celebrities believe in me to the point that they're in my film now. More celebrities are wanting to do more work with me now, and making it all the way to Hollywood. That story. 15-year-old who defended his life, almost lost his life, to never give up on that dream. The only thing that kept him believing in himself through prison, come home and actually achieve that dream and actually make it all the way to Hollywood. It's a story that kids need to see. People who still got breath in their lungs need to see. Breath in your lungs, you got to get it right. You know.
So have you had a lot of criticism or ridicule about you telling your own story? Because sometimes people put their story out, and then family members are like, "Did you really just do that?" So
Oh,
have you had any problems with anybody around you about telling your own story?
well, I had people say, "Oh, well, can you film something else? Or can you shoot this? Can you shoot that? You know, stuff like that." And I was like, "Okay." Back in the day, I was like, "Well, let me go ahead and listen to all these people." And then I seen Denzel Washington get an Emmy, Grammy for Training Day. I was like, "I'm tired of listening to people, man. Look at this Grammy he just got." So, I got tired of trying to listen to people, and no one, was investing. Like, "Oh, you're promoting violence. You're doing." I said, "No, I'm actually promoting American justice. This movie is about the biggest mafia trial in United States history that the government won, and it shows that you can't escape American justice." So if you want to sit there and say, "Oh, it's violent, it's that and the third," no, what it is people whose story never was told, because there's some touching stories in here that you're gonna see that's gonna make you cry. Well, you understand? That's gonna make you
Right.
shocking that it's happening, but it really happened in real life. You understand what I'm saying? And to sit there and not have that man or that lady's story be told because someone is feeling it should be shot this way, this could be shot that way, is not fair to the people who are respected out there in the streets for their story to be told. So I'm telling people, this is not just a film that I decided to let me just make a most violent film possible and just hope that all the gangsters come out and purchase the ticket. You know, people's real lives, people, their stories need to be told.
Right. Right. And I'm sure they appreciate you telling the story. Did you get any flack from the people that are part of the movie that are real life people?
No, I went to them first. I got permission from them first. I went to and I asked them the real life people before I even started filming, like the real Shorty Dorsey. I asked him, I gave him the script, and I waited for his approval before it took about a few weeks, and he approved it, and I was happy, because you can't, excuse me for a second, you can't really just go out there and throw a bunch of stuff out there and just hope you don't get no backlash from it. So I went on ahead and got permission for a lot of and some of the people are not here anymore, but I love them to death, and they would love. I thought that they would love what I've done in their name.
Okay. And so are there any big name actors in it? I know this is like your first premiere, but is there anyone that we might know in the film?
Yes, it's J.D. Williams. He plays Jabari on right now. It's a series with Clifton Powell, and Clifton Powell's in my film as well. He's the star of Saints and Sinners as well. Trey Chaney plays Clifton Powell's son in Saints and Sinners. Clifton Powell's son is Clifton Powell plays Rex in the film, in the show Saints and Sinners. We got Omar Goodman from Baby Boy. He stars in the film. We got Calvin Davis from The starring Vivica Fox. He stars in the film. We got Young Moose, the major rap star in Baltimore City. He stars in the film. We have Joseph D'Onofrio from A Bronx Tale. He stars in the film. Alicia Pearson, she stars in the film. Films in the Wire. She plays Snoop in The Wire as well. Kelly Brown Daniels, she was in The Wire for 3 seasons. Like prior to Snoop, was Omar's henchman. Like the 2 girls who just set up. She was the girl who survived for the other. The other girl, one of them died, but she survived all of the seasons to help Omar set people up. Kelly Brown Daniels. We got myself. I'm the star of the film. Let me look over. We got this Clifton Powell, Omar D'Onofrio. We got Hassan Johnson from Payton Full. He played the MVP. He's in 50 Cent show right now, this prison show that they got out right now. He was Weebay Wire. He played Weebay. I said J.D. Williams already. We have his name is let me think real quick. Here. Terrell Baker. He played Little Kevin on The Wire. He's in the film as well. I know people because there's a lot of stars. We have Larry Hall. He played Gant on The Wire. He was the reason why The Wire started in the first place. Because they killed the working man. he pointed out D'Angelo Barksdale in the beginning of the first season, and when he pointed out D'Angelo Barksdale, he was found dead very next day, and all of a sudden wiretaps started. Went on ahead and became
like he died in real life.
No. He was just on the show, you know.
Okay. What? Like, I was about to say. Wait a minute.
He do all that. No, he was good.
Yeah, really. Okay, cool. I'm glad he's alive in real life.
Wow.
So, how did you get in contact with all these different people? Did you have an audition, or was it just by word of mouth? Like, how did it's a lot of names, a lot of familiar names.
It was pretty much just my past with celebrities. I partied with a lot of celebrities. I hung out with a lot of celebrities. I've just got a lot of celebrity friends. Idris Elba he was a real good friend of mine, and he took off to the point that I can't even get in contact with him now. We were good friends. We went parties from state to state together. And every time I would go party with him, Hassan Johnson would pop up, JD Williams would pop up. So it's like we always want to be in that same circle. But it's like I got a ton of celebrity friends, and then what winds up happening when I started doing the film, other celebrities started talking about the film in different states. So they would tell, their celebrity friends about it, and then they would want to know about it. Then I bring them into the movie. What happened when I first started filming this movie, it was a rumor going around that this is the Wire movie, and he's doing a Wire movie. So I realized that I had my own platform. I didn't want to go off of the Wire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Is his own show. You know what I'm saying? So I need to be, have my own legacy. So what I did was I stopped casting people from the Wire because I was going to bring in the one who played Marlo Stanfield. And a few other Wire, but I had to pause. They finally got in contact with me, but Big G from the Go-Go band in DC, the Backyard band, I was going to bring him in as well. But that Wire movie would be great, but I got my own platform, so I stopped bringing in people from the Wire, and I went to the West Coast and got Clifton Powell, Omar Gooden. You understand what I'm saying? And try to tone down that Wire, rumor, and it worked like when the media came in to interview me, the top stories that Omar Gooden was there, Clifton Powell was there, and all the other people were there. They were like, "Oh, okay, this is Guns and Grams," So all of a sudden, you start thinking about Guns and Grams,
Wow, amazing. Well, if someone wanted to reach out to you after this show, how could they reach you?
Pretty much, they can reach out to me through my social media is Larry Derr is Derr. Larry, Larry, but it's Larry Derr on Facebook, it's Larry Derr on Instagram, and it's Larry Derr 31 on Twitter. Yeah, that's pretty much how to reach out to me. And if it was for something as far as union projects, it would be Larry Derr 31 at gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, much success to you and your film. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be national really, really soon. Best of luck to you when you go to Hollywood. It's so exciting to hear about all the connections and all the people that you have been connected to, and also the people that you're inspiring. So I appreciate your work, and I appreciate all you're doing for the community, because stories like yours need to be told. So thank you for coming on my show. And when everything comes out, the movie is already out. You're just trying to mass market it. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. I had to pull the movie though, because once I signed that deal, it's a different strategy that Hollywood uses so I pulled the movie, and they're going to allow me to drop it here and there as they do their business. But it's going to be a total pull real soon. It's going to be a mass release afterwards.
Gotcha.
So yeah, just using it, putting it, probably here, Chicago, LA, New York, Baltimore, Miami, and I'm gonna probably stop there, so do a few more states, and I'll put it back in Atlanta for a week or two, and then let Hollywood take over. But everything that I do has to be approved by my agent, Robin Shockley, my PR agent, and also by the company in Hollywood that I signed with the distributors. I can't even do interviews without their approval, and they're quick to get back to me. So, in the middle of marketing right now, but it's happening.
Okay, well, that's exciting. Y'all be on the lookout for Guns and Grams with Larry Derr. He got that dope movie.
Yeah.
Soon as it comes out, I need a clip because I'm gonna be putting it all over social media for you and make it spread even larger than what you're doing. So I appreciate you coming out tonight for this interview. I wish you much success, and I can't wait to see your movie.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Too.
Bye.